Hey guys, it's Jack here with Cowbell Farms, and I'm going to take you along on a complete redo of certain parts of my garden. We're going to take down some old trellises and put up new raised beds around the bottom so that we don't have all this Bermuda grass creeping in, and it's so hard to weed that stuff out. So I just need to do some rearranging of some things. Year by year, I change and redo things, so you never know what you're gonna get, and you never know what you're gonna like. So I say, do what you want, and then don't worry about it. Change it next year if you don't like it. That's the way we roll around here. Let's get to it.
We're about to clean up this whole section right here. I'm gonna take all these T-posts out, and I already took the fence down. I forgot to get video of that, but I have this bean trellis here that I made a tunnel out of, and so we're going to redo this whole thing because there's too many weeds out here, and we have this creepy grass that grows up and gets all up in the beans. So I'm about to replace all of this and put raised beds around it, and so I'll give you a little update in a few. Progress. We've got all of this cleaned out, and we are ready to put together our raised beds and get all of this grass out. Fun. Just a little update so far. We've got the grass pulled around the edges. I had some helpers show up today. These are my nieces. That's Nevaeh and Casey, and they're helping me pull off all of the dried beans off the trellises from last season. And so we got this side to do, and instead of boring you with the whole work of it, we will update you in a little bit. Very nicely clean trellises. Ready to bring in some leaves and heavily mulch this whole area to get it ready for planting. Then we got to move on to cleaning up the rest of these beds. Some of these beds I've already worked on, but we have some real nice stuff to clean up on this trellis, that back bed, the onion bed, and then over in those corners there's still a mess, and then there's that one terrible bed that just looks like grass back there. I don't know what happened there, but it rained so much that I just let it go. This little area needs to be cleaned up a bit. I had sunflowers, just planted all out here, all different kinds of flowers and wildflowers. So this whole thing fills up with that. And I'm hoping to extend the greenhouse over this area and possibly plant the citrus trees outside in the ground and then be able to cover them in the winter. So this is the raised bed that I just did out here on the green bean trellis that I make my little tunnel. We've had problems with this Bermuda grass just creeping in for so long and taking over and choking out my beans that I decided to get them up off the ground a little bit so I wouldn't have quite as much trouble. The problem I had with this is my fingers are sore from putting it all together now, but I ended up having to use 4.5 raised beds to get this length, because I didn't take into consideration, even though they're 7-foot beds, when you order them, there's these curves on the ends, and that takes up another foot or so. So I didn't take that into consideration when I was installing them in my head to actually installing them. So I ended up having to use more. I only ordered 6, so I'll have to order more just to get the other side done so that both sides of the tunnel will look the same. And I will go get rebar and put some stakes in here so that it does not bend out like this here. I don't have anything holding it up except for a tiny little piece of metal, and the wind's blowing really bad. But I will update this video and add to it when I get to the other side. And I didn't put assemblies, but I'm gonna walk back over here and show you the ends of them. This is what you would just get if you put them together just as one. And these are my strawberry beds that I have over here. But I ended up with some pieces, and all the round pieces are gonna make these nice size round raised beds to add to the flower garden. And I'm gonna be ordering more anyways because I wanna put all of my tea herbs out there in there. So that will be nice once it gets going. I'll check back in.
So guys, I did not get all of this project finished at this time. It has been a mess of a month or so. We had 2 full weeks of like freezing, below freezing, down into the teens weather, and I couldn't get out there and work on this, finish this project. And then it rained for an entire week. We had 5 inches of rain in like a 4-day period. And so now I'm letting the garden / pond that I have subside down and sink into, you know, absorb into the ground so that I can walk on it and get down there and work. And my daughter's supposed to come down tomorrow and help me work outside. I think it's supposed to be 59 degrees tomorrow and possibly sunny. The sun's coming out. This is the first time in like 3 weeks we've seen sun. And it's very depressing when it's that just cold down here in the central Alabama, which we don't like cold down here. I know that if you're up north, you are like, you don't even know what cold is. We don't know what cold is, and I'm glad that we don't know what cold is, because when it gets below 32 degrees, I'm not happy. Like, I am definitely a frost tender flower, and I like the sun. And so I will get to the rest of this project. Hopefully this week we will get some of it done and update this video. Well, not this video, but we'll have a part 2. This will be a part 1. So thank you for joining me on this little adventure. And like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Just help me get some content out there. I'm just new to this YouTubing, and I was pushed and pressured by a lot of people to do it. So y'all just help me out a little bit with getting the word out there. And thank you for watching, and thank you for joining me. My name is Jack, and I'm at Cowbell Farms in Central Alabama. And join me for more cowbell. You have a blessed day. Also, afterthought, I'm gonna add some pictures in here to show you what it looks like when the garden is in full bloom. Enjoy.